Now we'll go to annotations. See guys, annotations. Okay. Annotations always starts with @ right? So we'll discuss about @test and some frequently used annotations. Okay, 7, 8 are there. We'll discuss those. Okay, @test we know. If you write @test before any method, then it will be considered like a test case, right? So two test cases are there. So whenever you run this program, okay, so these will be considered like a test case. If you don't use @test, it will not be considered like a test case. Okay. Now what is the output? This is the output. Okay. Whatever we printed, this is test1, this is test2. It will print. Okay. This is test1. This is test2. Okay, this is the output, and test case's name is it passed or failed. Okay, now we'll go to another diagram. Suits. 1 second. Okay, looks like it is missing. Let me write one more time. See guys, so all test cases we will write using @test annotation, right? So all these multiple @tests will come in one class, right? So all test cases, after using @test, we can, after that its next one is class. Okay, inside class you can have a number of @tests, right? So multiple classes we can call it as a test. Okay, got it? @test is different. It is an annotation. This is just like a class. Okay, terminology like suit, test we call, right? Like a test. Okay, after that multiple tests we can call it as suit. Okay, so @test, first is test case, after that class. Okay, multiple classes we can combine and make one test, multiple tests we can combine and make a suit. Okay, if you want to run multiple suits, there is another option that also we'll see. Okay, like that. See, @test. Okay, all are there inside one class. Okay, now here when you see the output here, whatever it is showing here, that is the test name. These test cases are belonging to which test? Which test in the sense here, test, suit, class. Got it? Are these belongs to which test? That is, see here, whenever we are running, right click and run as TestNG, internally it will use one XML configuration for this. Okay, so inside that I will show that XML configuration soon. Okay, inside that it will consider the test name is default. Okay, this is default test. If you don't mention, just if you are without creating TestNG XML, if you are running like this, just you wrote a class and then run as TestNG, then by default it will consider that suit name and test name is default. Suit name also default, test name also default. See this output. This one, these two are from test cases. It executed from those two test cases. We got these two. Okay. After that, what is the status of each test case? After that, what is the status of each test? This is result in test wise. After that finally suit wise results. Okay, got it? So we are not mentioning any test name, any suit name. That's why by default it took default suit, default test. Got it? Now another one. This one we already discussed it in the day one class itself. So we have three tests. If you want to make it fail, assert.fail you should use. If you want to skip, you should throw an object of skip exception class. Okay, whatever the message you will write, it will come in the logs. Okay, now third one is normal test. Similarly, whenever you run, okay, right click and run as TestNG. What we will get? We will get output like this. See here, this is from test case 3. Okay, because other two don't have anything like sysouts. Okay, so this is result of first test case 3, test case 1 failed. Okay, function test 1 failed. It is showing why is it failed. This is the reason. Okay, see here in annotations example 2, this is the test case name or method name. Okay, and this is the line number that is causing the fail. Okay, after that another test case skipped. Functional test 2 is skipped. Here also we can see clear info which line is causing that skip. Okay, after that at the end suit wise and test wise. Okay, consolidated report of test and suit. Okay, got it? In this test we have, in this suit we have only one test. In this test also we have only one class, this class only. Okay, class wise info it won't show. Okay, currently we have one class. In that one class we have 3 test cases. Okay, so this results is clear, right? Default test and default suit. Okay, how many are executed, how many are failed, passed and skipped. After that, before method. Yesterday we discussed about it. Okay, there is an annotation called @before test. Oh, before method. Okay, this before method, consider you have 2 test cases, test case 1 and 2. Okay, so if you want to run a precondition for each and every test case before executing the test case, you must use that method as @before method. Okay, you write that precondition and use @before method. Okay, then this method will be executed before executing each test case. Similarly, after method, okay, after executing every test case, it executes. Okay, see, just here I am adding a print statement. I am inside before method, I am inside after method. It executes before every test case execution, it executes after every test case execution. Okay, let me run it. See here, output, you can see console as well as this one. Okay, in console, see here, this is test case 1. Before that it executed before execute once, after executing test case, after method executed. For test case 2, again it executed before method once, after executing the test case 2 it executed after method. Okay, so before and after methods will be executed before executing test case and after executing the test case. Okay, now similarly consider for all these test cases only one time you need to run one method. Okay, at the time you must use class. Consider you have 2 test cases. Okay, 2 test cases you have. So after method, before method, what happens? After method, before method, it will be executing for every test case, right? Similarly, like before method, after method, we have another one called before class, after class. For this class, okay, consider n number of test cases are there inside this class. It will execute only one time. Okay, before class will execute only one time for this class, and after class also will execute only one time after executing all the test cases. Got it? So if you want to run one time, if you want to do some things one time for full suit or test, okay, like that we have some other things also will go for this class. How many test cases are in this class? For all those test cases, if you want to run one precondition one time, at that time you use before class. See here, before class executed, before executing all the test cases one time. At the end, after class executed. Okay, in between for each test case, one before method, one after method. Got it? Any doubt in this? Like before class and after class, we have another one called before test and after test. Okay, see here, you have a class. Inside class, you have before class and after class. Similarly, before method, after method, and similarly you have two test cases also. Two tests are there. Okay, before and after methods, before and after class. Okay, in addition to that, test. Okay, so this class can be part of one test, right? So before test and after test. Okay, before test and after test. Let me run it. It will execute one time. Okay, for the test. So this test contains only one class. Okay, that's why only one class methods only it is executing. Let me show with the two classes. One minute, guys. Bindu is asking a doubt. I forgot to reply. Yeah, in line number, she is asking about line number 43, it seems. Okay, in line number 43 right now, I have only one username, that's why I took 0. If get elements by tag name, if you have multiple username tags, it will give a list, right? At that time, from that list you iterate and take each and everything, every username, okay? In that time also, if you want to take only one, directly take 0. If you want to iterate through all the things, use I and a for loop. Okay. Okay, guys. Now, before test, right? Before test, okay. See here, test can contain multiple classes, right? Multiple classes. So suit contains one or more, any multiple classes or multiple suits. Tests, right? Now see class. Here with one class only we are trying test. Okay, test contains right now one class only. Okay, when you run this before test and after test, okay, it will be executed one time. Let me run it. Here it behaves like before class and after class only. That means one time. See here, before test, after test executed one time, because here we have only one class. Okay, after class and after test. Okay, so before test, before class executes one, because we have one class, so we have a test with only one class. So here test is nothing but equal to our one class only. Okay, got it? Now go to another one. Here I have another class also. Okay, here also see class 2. To understand before test, I wrote another class. Okay, this class has before class, after class, and some test cases, and before method, after method. Okay, now 1 second, guys. If you want to run one at a time, one file at a time, run as TestNG. Now, if you want to run 2 files at a time, it is not possible. See here, maybe it may throw error. We'll see. Okay, it executed. Okay, fine. Okay, now we selected these 2 and then executed. Okay, see here, now before test, how many classes we are executing now? 2 classes. Okay, 2 classes are part of this test. How to make it, that I will show you soon in XML file. Okay, inside before test. Okay, see here, then class started. Okay, after class, this is related to one class, right? Test contains classes, right? This whatever I highlighted in blue color, that is belonging to one class, first class. Similarly, for second class. Okay, whatever I highlighted now in blue color, that is for second class. After executing all that one, it is executing after test. Okay, when you have multiple classes, okay, into one test, you can use @test, before test and after test. Okay. So we have something called XML. See here, TestNG internally, when you run it as TestNG also, maybe it will generate internally, run as TestNG. Okay, automatically it will generate one XML file internally and it will try to execute. This is test demo. How to make sure these 2 are part of one test. Okay, see, this is the XML format. Okay, inside test, there is a tag called classes. Inside that class, whatever the classes belonging to, all the classes belonging to this test, you can use class 1 tag and you can mention that class name. Okay, here example 5, example 5.1, 2 classes I want to make, those 2 classes are part of this test. Okay, that's why inside the test I wrote those 2 classes. Okay, so now what is the name of my test name? In previous examples, if you see the output, we are seeing test default test suit default suit. Now it should show this name whatever you are setting. Before test example, suit test example, like this, right? Now let me run it, whatever we executed some time back. Here, see here, just you selected these 2. You did not use the XML. So 5 and 5.1. Okay, selected and then right click and run as TestNG. Automatically, internally it prepares this kind of XML and it will execute. You are not passing any names for suit and test. Just you selected it and run as TestNG, like that we executed. Okay, that's why we will get default suit, default test. Okay, total test cases are 4. Okay, because each class has 2, total 4. Okay, so class wise separate one it won't show, only test wise and suit wise it will show. Okay, got it, total 4. Now if you want to set you can set. If you use the XML, you will get the option of setting that. Okay. Now using this XML also we can run test demo. I am going to run. This is the content of test demo. Okay. Run as TestNG. See here. This time what is it showing? Suite name is test example, because here suite name is test example. Okay. Suite test example. Okay. Suite test example. Okay. Suite underscore test example. This is the suite. Similarly, it should show test related. I think it won't show, it seems. Okay. So got it, guys? Any doubt in this? Because it has only one test, maybe that is the reason it is not showing. We'll see in suite case, we will be having multiple tests. At that time it will show. Okay. So before test and after test, is it clear? See here how many times it executed. After test one time, before test one time. Okay. For first class it executed, for second class again it executed. Okay. But after class, before class will be executed for each class. But after test and before test will be executed only one time per test. If you have 10 classes in that test, for all those 10 classes it will execute only one time. Okay. Similarly, we have some, yeah.
And in which class did you write before test, after test methods? I mean, annotation.
Okay. This you can write it in any of those. Okay. I wrote. Let me show you. Where did I write? Here I wrote before test. In example 5 I wrote. Okay. In example 5.1 I did not write. See here. Only before class is there. Okay. After class is there. Before method. You can write in any one of the class. Okay. That class is belonging to some test, means there definitely it will execute that before test and after test whenever we run the test. Okay.
And before class, after class can be also written in any class?
Before class and after class are separated to, for this is particular to this class only, right?
So it won't execute for both the tests, both the classes in the test.
I think it won't execute. Let me show it once. Here in class 2. Okay. I am commenting this and we'll see once will it execute or not. From my understanding, it won't execute. Okay. So using XML only will run. See here. So before test it executed, after that before class, after class it executed. Because from the first class, second class doesn't have before class and after class, that's why it did not execute. Okay? Got it?
Yeah. So can you scroll down once?
Yeah.
Okay, so it executed before test, after test, but class only once.
Class only once. See, from second, whatever is highlighted now in blue color, it doesn't have before and after class. Only first set have that. Okay. Now, if you have multiple times same before and after, consider. If you have multiple times, it will execute multiple times also. So we should not use it multiple times, okay, because we have to make sure one time only we'll use for class. If you write, it will execute. Run as TestNG. In second class, we have 2 before classes, 2 after classes, right? So first one This is first class 1. Okay, before class, after class completed in that blue color highlighted. When it comes to executing second class, two before class methods are there. Two methods are annotated with before class. That's why it executed those two. Right? Similarly, after class also two times. That's why it executed those two methods. Got it? But generally people won't use like that two times executing. Okay, in one class, one time only they will use at the rate before class for one class. Okay, is it clear, Upasana?
Yes.
So like that we have test. Okay, so multiple tests we can call it as suit. Okay, now let me explain suit example. Consider this is my program. Here I have before test, after test. In addition to that, I added before suit, after suit. Okay, before class, after class, before method, after method, two test cases also. Okay, if I run only that test case itself alone, it will be like I have a suit, inside suit I have one test, inside test I have one class, that class has two. So class, test, suit all will execute one time. We won't find the actual difference between class, suit and test. Okay, got it? Here class, test, suit is not coming. Let me check. Do we have suit or not? Okay. See here, before suit is there. After suit is not coming. Do we have that? After suit is there, but it did not execute. See, after suit, sorry, before suit, after suit. Let me run it one more time. So maybe after suit is not coming. Did you guys observe this issue here? What I am trying to explain?
Yeah.
At the rate suit we have, if suit is have now with one class only we added all these. So suit means one class only, test also one class only, class also that one class only, right? So before suit, before test, before class it came properly. After the test one it executed. Before and after methods will execute. Similarly, test case 2 and then after class, after test. But somehow maybe an issue, it is not executing after suit.
After suit is there, right? After the default test results, if you see between.
Okay, yeah, here it came. Sorry, I did not observe. Here only I am checking after execute. Okay, here it is showing test results. After completing test only, it is showing after suit. Okay. Okay, after executing all the tests, it is printing the test results and then it is executing after suit. Okay, thank you. Now, if I want to add multiple tests into one suit, okay, and then I want to run, for that we need to use XML, okay, or else select those two similarly, two files you write and then execute, okay. See here, suit name is suit example, inside that one test, another test, okay. So same earlier whatever you used for test, same thing I copy pasted. Classes, under that classes I added two classes, test 2, okay. So test 1, test 2, okay. Suit name is suit example, okay. Let me run it, right click and run as TestNG. See guys here, before shoot and after shoot. Okay, before shoot and after shoot. And before test, somewhere we can see after test. After test. Okay, this is one test and remaining all is another test, before test and after test. Okay, suit contains two. Okay, got it. Now annotations example 6, 5, 5, 1 and 6. Let me run these three by selecting this. Run as, maybe it is not allowing now. Okay, if it is of different one, maybe it may not allow. Okay, but one test only we can run, it seems. Okay, run as TestNG it is allowing. And here, now it is on. When you select here and then run, automatically these names comes like the default ones. That XML automatically it will only prepare and it will do. Okay. So after executing all the tests, it is showing the suit. Okay. Got it? Now the best, always we should use XML only. If you use XML, that name and all you can get. So suit example. Here this is console. Beside console you have results of running suit, like that, another one diagrammatic representation. Okay. See, these are the three classes. Okay. These are the three classes. Each class has two test cases. Okay. So it has two tests. Test 1, test 2. Test 1 has two classes. Test 2 has one classes. Those are part of suit example. Okay. What that means, that is suit. Okay. Two tests are there inside this suit. So like this we can use annotations before and after. Okay. So after that there is something called group. Give me a minute guys. I will be back in 2 minutes. I will continue. Okay. Please take, if you guys want break, take for 2 minutes. Hello? Shall I continue, guys? Hello? Rahul and Upasna Bindu. Shall I continue?
Yeah, I'm here.
Rahul, are you there? Hello, Rahul? We wait for 2 minutes. Maybe Rahul is not it. Okay, guys, I will repeat once again. Once you hear. Once. See here, we'll see about groups now. See, group. Before group, after group. Okay. First of all, what is group? We'll see, and then we'll go to before group and after group. These are the test cases. Consider I have 3 test cases. Okay. I have 3 test cases. Consider group can be anything. Priority 1 test cases, priority 2 is another group, or else unit test is one group, functional test is one group. This test case 1, I want to execute it as part of both functional test and a unit test. Consider I have a test case, I want to execute it as part of both functional and unit test. Now 2 groups, one is unit group test and functional testing related test cases group is second one, like that too. After at the rate test, okay, you try to write groups equal to like how we will write an array with multiple strings, right? So these are the groups you assign to groups. Okay, so groups equal to like this. This is the syntax. Group name, you can write any name. Okay, whatever you will create, it will become like a no group. Here if you write something like XYZ, okay, this will be part of new, automatically it will consider like, okay, there is a new group XYZ, this test case should be part of XYZ group, like that. Okay, so like that you can create groups. Whenever you create a test using @ test, if you want to assign it to a group, you can assign it. Okay, you can assign a test case to one group or multiple groups. Now I have a test case 1, it is assigned to 2 groups, functional test and unit test. Okay, I have another test case 2. It is only unit test. Another group functional test. Sorry, another test case 3. It is part of only functional test. I have another test case 4. It is not belonging to any of these groups. Okay, just if I run, right click, run as TestNG. Okay, it will execute. Okay, we'll come back soon. See how many test cases are there total in this. 4 test cases. Okay, 3 are participating in some group, 1 is not participating. Okay, 4 test cases it executed. Okay, now before executing any group, see if you want to, for example, before executing this group 1, sorry, test cases, before executing this test case, if you want to run some precondition, for example, for functional test, it will be part of both functional and unit test. Before executing, if you want to run any precondition for particular group, okay, then you should use before group and after group, after executing the group if you want. So first what we will do is, we will assign some groups. We will assign these test cases to some groups. Okay. After that, if you want to run some precondition for particular group, we'll use before group. Post condition for that group means use after group. Okay. See here, before group, after group. See, before group. For which group? Unit test group. This is the after group. Okay, it has to execute for unit test. After executing all unit test cases, it has to execute this. Okay, similarly before group, for unit test cases, this is the precondition. Similarly for functional test also, if you want to add, okay, you can add before and after groups. Okay, at the time of using before groups and after groups, you must specify to which group this is the precondition or post condition. Okay, now let me show the output. See, before groups function test. Okay, before groups unit test, because we executed all. How many are there? Before groups 2 are there. 2 before groups. This is before groups. Another before groups. It executed these 2. This is before groups function test. Another one is before group unit test. Okay, it executed these 2. Okay, after that it executed test cases. After that it started executing after groups. Okay, and then it executed test 3. After, because test 3 is part of functional test. After executing 3 only, functional test related after group it executed. Got it, guys? Any doubt in this?
Is it possible to run test cases of a certain group, of one group only?
Yeah, that is also possible. That we'll see soon. Okay, using XML only we have to do that. Okay. See here, similarly, another group, some other class I have, there also some test cases I link to these groups. Okay, so test case 4, 5, 6, like this I have 6. So in this one also, first one is part of both functional and unit. One is only unit, another one is only functional. Okay, so when you run also same only we'll see. Okay, see here, I did not add before group, after group annotations here, right? When you run only this group, only this class, do we have those after group, before group, like that? No, right? So see here, that is the reason when you run only this class doesn't have those. When you run these 2 together, at that time it will execute before and afters. When you run only particularly this class doesn't have, so it will not execute before group and after group. Got it? Now, how to run particular group? Okay, see here, groups demo, groups example is there. See, test, forget about these groups. Generally inside test what we will be having classes inside that this one. Okay, in addition to that, if you want to run group wise, okay, so groups like that we have to mention and run inside run tag. There is a subtag called include. Okay, include and name which function or which group. That means group name you need to specify here. Okay, so that group related test cases from which class it has to execute. Go and check these two classes and find functional test and unit test, execute both. Okay, so it will execute both. Okay, so let me show here. Total 6. Here 3 are there 3. One is not part of anyone in first class, that's why it did not execute that, because you are running based on some groups. Now I want to run only functional test. Okay, now if I want to run only functional test, see here and there we have to do, so it executed only functional test related. If you see output, 1 is part of functional test and unit test, so it executed. 3 also part of only functional, 4 is part of both, 6 is part of functional test. Okay, it will execute only particular category, whatever, particular group, whatever you will mention. Okay, if you want to run only unit test, just include the tag and then run it. Okay, so only unit test related it executed. Okay, got it. Now when you mention both the groups, here unit test, how many are there? 4. 1 second. Unit test, how many are there? 4. Similarly, when you execute functional also, you have 4. That means if you run some are part of both functional and unit. Okay, when you run 2 categories, that means 2 groups, that the test cases which are part of both the group will be executed only one time only. Okay, it will not execute 2 times. So if you run individually, each category will get 4. That means 8. 2 are part of both the categories, that is part of both the groups. Okay, when you run 2 categories, it will execute only 6 only. Okay, it will not execute the same test case 2 times. Okay, clear? So like this we have AND cases. When we start using, maybe in future we may get 1 or 2 new things also. Like yesterday whatever I used in listeners, I did not use it earlier. First time yesterday I started using ATU reports. Okay, so there we found like that maybe 1 or 2 new things we'll get. Whenever you get new thing, just if you go to TestNG site, we can read it and we can try to understand what is, because it is self-explanatory, so we can only read and understand what is the meaning of it. Okay, like this we will get some benefit. Most of the times we'll use class and method. Okay, and one more thing, if you want to use a particular setup for each method, before executing each method, before executing each test case, if you want to execute a specific before for each test, that availability is not there. You have to write a separate method, just call it in your test case as a first statement. If it is not happening properly, you try to skip your test case. Okay. Now dependency. See here, whenever you try to run test cases, how it will execute is in the order of alphabetical order. See here, test case 1, test case 2. First it will execute test case 1, after that it will execute test case 2. Okay, Now consider this is first one, a underscore test2. Okay, so it will execute first, a comes first, so it will execute this. So if you don't set any priority, or we have something called priority, using that you can set the priority. We'll discuss it soon. If you are not giving any priority and all, just if you are using only at the rate test, always test cases it will execute in the order of test case names. It will write in alphabetical order and it will pick one by one and it will execute those test cases. In case if you want to change the order of execution, you can use some attribute called priority. Okay, at the rate test. Okay, at the rate test like this. Okay, after that you set priority for 0 to any number. So the one which has low priority gets first one, gets high priority for execution. Okay, low priority number test cases will be executed first. Okay, got it? Now, in addition to that, sometimes you will be having something called dependency. If method A executes, then only B should execute. Like that, if you have a dependency, okay? In case if you have a dependency, at that time you have something called here, instead of priority, you have something called depends on methods. Okay? Depends on methods equal to what are the methods it's supposed to execute before coming to this test case. Okay, like this you need to mention. So first it will execute these three, then only it will come and execute a underscore test1. Okay, got it guys? See here. Let me explain one by one. Remove this. So all tests here just like normal test, right? All are like normal test. We don't have any priority or dependency. At that time, how it will execute? Okay, it will execute in the order of alphabetical order. Okay, see here, it executes test case A1, test case A2. Okay, so test case A1 it executed first, and test case A2, test case 1, test case 2. Okay, test case A1, see here, test case A1, because compared to T, A comes first, right? So it executed first test case 1 and then test case 2. After that, test case A1, test case A2, and then test case 1 and test case 2. Okay, in this order only it executed. See here, test A1, A2 it executed. After that it came to test 1 and test 2. Got it guys? It will execute in this order. Okay, any doubt in this? Now if I want to execute, this test case is executing at the end. If I want to execute it before executing these two, okay, so you set the priority. If you use priority, then what happens? See, I'm going to change the order of test cases execution. Okay, so for me this one should execute first, this one should execute after that. Okay, so this is 3, this is 4. Okay, or else let me start from here. This is 1, 2, test 1, test 2 should execute first, 3, 4. Okay, in the same order only. Suppose if I want to execute, run as earlier it executed A1 and A2 first and then 1 and 2. This time it executed 1 and 2 first and then it came to A1 and A2 because you are setting the priority. Okay. Now if there is a dependency at that time, first you need to execute those. Okay. At that time what we supposed to do is we should use dependent. Okay. So let me explain there. See here, if you consider alphabetical order, which one it will execute first? A underscore test 1, right? So here no priority and all now. So automatically it will try to execute in the alphabetical order. Okay. Now A underscore test 1 it has to execute first because we have seen it already, right? But it has some dependency on these remaining three methods. Then what happens? It will execute those three first and then only it will command execute this. Okay. Then only it will command execute this. Now let me run it. So A underscore test 1, that means A1 should execute in the last. Okay. A1 it executed in the last. Okay. Got it? Like this you have dependency, dependent methods, priority, like that. Okay. You can set it whenever it is required. But best suggestion is try to avoid using dependence on methods and all, because if you have a dependency on, consider this method is having dependency. If those tests fails, okay, those tests fails, then it will not execute this. It will skip this. Okay, or else consider tomorrow if you want to run only this test due to some reasons, consider all test cases priority ones you want to run. This becomes priority 1. These are not part of priority 1 or a category 1. Okay. At that time if you want to run this test case alone, okay, at that time it will say this is a dependent on above 1. So you cannot run it. Like that it will show. Okay. Got it, guys? So always try to make sure all test cases are independent. There should not be any dependence. Consider test case 1 is available, it will create a user. Test case 2 is related to copy user test case. So what you want to do is in test case 2 itself, first step you create a new user and then try to modify or copy or whatever you want to do. If you are expecting some user from test case 1, always if you think, okay, anyhow my test case first will execute because I have set the priority also, so that test case 1 will execute, it will create and give, already it will be having a user. Same user I can use and modify. Like that if you write test case 2, tomorrow test case 1 fails, test case 2, it will be in trouble. Automatically it will fail, saying that user itself is not existing. So like that, okay, these kind of problems will get if there is a dependency. So try to avoid dependency and try to make each test case independent. Whenever you run the test case, it should work independently. Okay, it should not be dependent on other test cases. Got it? And one more thing is, whenever you are, for example, trying to create a user, whenever you create a user, okay, whenever you create a user, after completion of test case, you try to remove those users. That means you try to do the cleanup. Okay, that means whatever the configuration you are creating as part of your test case, after test case you try to remove all those. Okay, got it? Write the statements of removing that user also. Before creating user, one more thing is, try to, whenever you are creating a user and all, just don't create static names and all. If you are using static name and you consider like, okay, I created user Venkat123 and I will execute my test case, at the end I will delete. anyhow no problem. Okay, tomorrow due to some reasons that test case failed in the middle of execution or cleanup routine deletion may fail. At the time next run, when you try to run, it will show error like user Venkat one already exists. That is the reason whenever you are trying to create users or anything, when you are setting names and all, you try to give unique one. You generate a random number also, okay, and then add it to that static string Venkat, so that one new string you will create, use that string for username. Okay, so like this we have some annotations. You can go through the document. I will send this one. Okay, and after annotations we'll see now how to run Eclipse in debug mode. Okay, with that it will be completed. And before going to debug mode, I want to show one simple example. Headless browser, we don't use it anywhere, but tomorrow if anyone is discussing about headless browser, okay, you should not be in trouble like what is this headless and all. Just headless browser is like a normal one only, but it won't open the browser. Okay, now the question is, it won't open the browser. Do we need browser really in our system? No, it's not required. Okay, so whenever you create, generally how did we create object? Till now whatever we used is base WebDriver equal to new, okay, Chrome driver or Firefox driver or IE driver we created. Okay, so any driver object you can assign to WebDriver instance variable, right? So corresponding browser related set property also we are setting, right? Here what are we doing is, there is a class called HTML unit driver. You create the object of HTML unit driver and assign it to driver. Only this statement only varies. Other than that, everything is same. But always will it work? No guarantee, because we tried for multiple things. When we want to run some of the things like will it work or not, while understanding this HTML unit driver, it may not work always like how our browser works. Okay, so better don't use this one. Just for understanding of headless browser, I am showing this simple example. What I am doing is I am creating a HTML unit driver. So it will open the browser. Can we see that browser? No, it is a virtual one. Okay, after that in that browser it will launch Google. Here onwards same. Okay, search element in Google, right? We will be having search element. Let me open that. See here in this search element, I am trying to find the XPath of this and then trying to enter Selenium here. Okay, Selenium. See here, this is the XPath of that element. So after finding the element, what I am doing, I am entering Selenium HQ. Here I am entering Selenium HQ. After that, enter we need to press, right? To use the keys, keyboard keys, in Selenium we have a class called keys. Okay, keys dot enter means it will do enter operation. After entering this one using send keys, see here, using send keys, Selenium HQ I entered. After that I need to, in the same place, in the same element, okay, I want to pass enter also. Okay, so whatever we do, enter, okay, same thing it will do. Okay, Selenium HQ. Okay, it will click on enter. After that waiting for some time. Okay, after waiting for some time, we can see a text. Okay, download Selenium. An anchor tag, that means a link with download Selenium. See here, first thing is, see here, downloads Selenium is a anchor tag whose text is downloads-selenium anchor tag whose text is see this is anchor tag. I am writing the XPath whose text is download-selenium. Okay, I am clicking on that link, right? I identified the XPath of this element and I am clicking on it. After clicking, waiting for some time, okay, to make sure page loaded. After that, in that web page, I am waiting, I am searching for Selenium standalone server for this element. I am waiting for checking for that element. See here, HTTP tag whose text is Selenium standalone server. Is that element exist on that page? Finding. Okay, if it finds, just that means if it did not find element with that means if it did not find means this page is not loaded properly, right? If it did not find this element, here itself it will throw exception and it will fail. Okay, after clicking on that, what I am doing, after finding that element, what I am doing, simply printing the URL of that page. What is the URL? Selenium hq.org/download. And similarly, that page title also I am trying to print. Okay, got it? So after that I am closing the browser. Okay, got it? Test completed also. Just for our understanding, these print statements I am writing. Okay, got it? So the only difference is HTML unit driver. Okay, object you need to create for a headless browser, but no guarantee like it will work always. I tried for Gmail to show the same one, but it's not working. In another places also it did not work, but code is same only. Okay, only the difference is object creation. See here, these are just warnings. Don't worry about this. Okay. Test completed. See here URL. Okay. Same URL we got it right. See here, this is the URL. Got it? Selenium org download. Okay, where are we? We are in downloads. That's why it is showing title as downloads. Okay, got it? Now we'll go to Eclipse debug mode, how to run it. So because when we are running program, instead of writing system.out.printout, okay, look, because you don't know where exactly error is coming. If you go in debug mode line by line, you can see what are the values we are getting and all. Okay, got it guys? Any doubt in this? Okay guys, we'll go to Eclipse debug mode. See, take any example, just a simple one only I will show you. Take any for loop or anything, or variables, or practice examples here one by one. Okay, one simple for loop I am taking, or these variables only I am taking. No, this is very simple one. Take this. For example, you want to run this one in debug mode. Okay? Or else take our example itself. Gmail one will go. So here consider these printouts you don't have. If you have printouts, it will print there. Okay, after reaching this place, are we getting proper mail ID and all? If you want to see here, we need to add some debug points in your program first. Okay, first you need to add some debug points. See here anywhere. Okay, if you just double click on it, see here where cursor is moving, double click on it. That means that bullet, like small bullet, it is coming. That means you are adding a debug point. Okay, you can have any number of debug points. If you double click it, automatically it will disappear. That means you are removing it. Okay, or else right click and then toggle breakpoint. Anything is okay. Okay, double click also automatically will do right click. Okay, now one point also okay, fine. Okay, now let me do one thing here. If one is sufficient, then why these many? Okay, see here you added like this 2-3 debug points. After adding that, how to run it? Right click. Till now what we did? Run as TestNG, right? Now onwards, if you want to go in debug mode, debug as, you have to use debug as. Okay, got it? Instead of run as, you need to use debug as. And one more thing, see here. Yeah.
Venkat, can you just repeat once? I got missed in between.
Okay, let me review. See, first of all, if you want to run in debug mode, we need to add some debug points where it has to till, see here. After reaching this place, consider you want to go to debug mode. Okay, after when program execution reaches to this line number 30, if you want to go to debug mode, just you need to add a debug point at that line number. Okay, like that you can add any number of debug points. Okay, if you double click on that, that means removing the debug point. Okay, or else right click and toggle breakpoint, that also will add the debug point. Or else simply double click on this blue line also will add the debug point. Okay, now consider you have a debug point here one and here one more. See line number 44, like that two I added. Okay, and see here right side, I am right side top corner, I am moving the cursor there. There you can see Java, right? Perspective J means Java. After that debug. Okay, right now it is showing J as enabled because we are in Java prompt. If you click on debug prompt comes like this. Got it? Debug prompt. This is debug perspective. This is Java 1. Okay, wherever we write code, that is Java 1. Okay, in case of debug 1, once if it reaches to that line number 30 where we added that debug point, once program execution reaches to that point, there automatically it will go to debug mode. Okay, see here, initially we are in J mode, Java mode. I added a debug point in line number 30, another one in line number 44. Now I need to run this program in debug mode. Right click, debug as. Okay, instead of run as, you need to use debug as. Okay, if it is a Java program, Java application, debug as Java application, it's a TestNG one, debug as TestNG. Once if it reaches to that line number 30, see here, there is a arrow mark on the bullet, right? That means when it reaches to first debug point, you will get, you need to switch to the perspective, debug perspective. Yes, switch it. Okay, click on S. This is how it looks, debug 1. Okay, now you go here, just see here, now line number 30, there is a arrow mark. Currently we are there. Okay, if you see any variable here, if you keep the cursor, you can see what are the values on that. See, current directory is having lot of data. It is a object, right? It might be having so many things. Path, what path it has, dot, that means current path. like that. Some we may not understand. Whatever is required for us, we'll try to understand those. Okay, because object contains lot of data. Okay, not only our instance variables, it will be having x and y lot of data. Okay, so don't worry about that. For example, after reaching this one, XML path should come like full complete path, right? This XML path string should show. When control is on the same line, it won't show. If you go to next line, then it will show the value. Value will come and store into that XML path variable. Okay, see here. Currently we are on which class? Currently we are on which class? Page object model example test cases class. That's why if you see here some variables, see here right side top. This is always, what is this? This is a reference variable, always point to current class object. So it points to some object of current class only. Okay, that's why current class only it is showing. Okay, now let me go to next line. To go line by line, here see here under search we have 3 arrows. One is F5 step into, another one is step over F6, another one is step return. If you use F6 is line by line, line by line, line by line it will go. Okay, so just see here, control is moving line by line. See here line by line. Whenever you click on this F6, okay, line by line, see here in code that line number 34 to it will go to 35, 35 to 36, 36 to 37, like that it will keep on going line by line, it is executing. So if you want to go line by line, you should use this middle option, okay, that is step over for next step, okay, line by line. Okay, got it guys? Now let me go through another one. See here, step by step it's going. See here, I crossed line number 43. If you see line number 43, if you keep cursor on email ID, here it is showing what is the value inside that. Okay, mail ID, it got the mail ID value. Okay, same thing you can see on here. See here right side also variables, it should show. 1 second. So one print statement we got, that's why console automatically open, and whatever is there inside that, it wrote that data onto console. Okay, let me run it one more time. So current run, if you want to stop, here in under navigate you have something called red button. Okay, red option, terminate. Just click on it, it will stop the current execution, and then go to J mode. Okay, after click on J on right side top corner, you will get J mode, Java mode, and then again go to that debug as. Okay, now again it will start from the beginning. See here, now you understood this stop. Terminate means just click on it, it will terminate the program execution. Okay, now you can come to J mode and then try one more time. Okay, debug as TestNG. See here, now how many breakpoints you have? 2 breakpoints, right? So after line number 30, you have another breakpoint in line number 44. Directly if you want to go to line number 44, that means to next debug point. Consider you want to go to 38, you add another debug point. Okay, so next debug point. If you want to go to next debug point instead of line by line means you need to use F6 step over. Got it, guys? Okay. See here, line by line. Okay. It came from 30 to 31, no line, so 32. It came to 32. If you are going using F6, it will go line by line. If you use resume option is there here. See here. Before this red one, you have something called resume option. If you click on resume, what it will do? It will directly go to next debug point. Next debug point is line number 38. That means directly it will go means it doesn't mean it won't execute. It will execute, but we cannot see it. It won't stop. It will execute fast and it will go and wait at line number 38. Okay, it will continue the execution and it will wait in next debug point. See here. It came to line number 38 and there it is waiting. Now, if you want to go again line by line, just click on this, step over. If you want to go to particular debug point, you directly, like that if you have multiple debug points, just if you want, you saw here, there is some error coming, consider, you suspected for your failure, maybe reason is here. Here you executed one or two in line by line, whatever the value you are getting to this variable, see here, XML path variable. You got correct one. See here. This is the path of my XML file. See here. 1 second. This is the full path. You thought initially, okay, my program is failing because XML path value is not coming properly. So you added a debug. There you saw, okay, it is getting proper value. Then what you want to do? You suspected one more error might be in line number 50. There you added. You can go line by line, or else directly if you want to go to next debug, click on resume. It will go and stand on it will go and wait on the next debug point. It came from directly 38 to 44. That means it executed all and it came and it is waiting here. So resume. What it will do? It will take you to next debug point or break point. Debug or break point. Okay, wherever you added break point, it will take you to there. Okay, so step over F6 also you can use shortcut key. Okay, step over. What it will do? This is line by line execution you can see. Okay, now let me go back, let me stop this. In between, whatever the variables you will get here, if you move the cursor there, you can see what is the value coming into that. Got it, guys? Let me go to Java perspective and then let me run it in debug mode one more time. 1 second. Hello. Aunty, చెప్పండి పర్లేదు ఆంటీ, హరి వచ్చిందా? ఓకే, నేను వచ్చేసరికి 8:30 అవుతాను. సరేనా? ఓకే, హరి వచ్చినాక వస్తాను, నాకు కలుస్తున్నా. సరేనా? ఓకే, సరే ఆంటీ. ఓకే, సరే మరి. ఓకే మరి. See guys, I am going to debug mode. Here, see, here one method parse is there or some other method you have. Let me add one debug point. Let me remove all these. Suppose if you want to remove all the debug points, okay, here just go to run, remove all breakpoints. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 breakpoints, right? 55 line, 44 line, 38 and 30. If I want to remove all breakpoints, click on run and remove all breakpoints. It will remove all. I don't want to wait there. One time I will check here. 1 second. Here in this line I will wait. Okay, before going to that, let me check here email ID and password did I get or not. Sysout, just I added one. I am removing here. I am adding one debug here. After reaching line number 46, it will wait. There I will verify did I get username password properly or not. After that directly I will jump to my program. Okay, I will jump to send mail. Okay, because it will execute anyhow send mail, right? So first line only I am adding one debug point. Okay, now how to run it? So right click, debug as, not run as, debug as. Okay, now see here, after reaching this place, you can see mail ID value. Okay, if you move the cursor there, it can show. Okay, password value. Okay, username, password. Properly did we get or not? Okay, we got it. Suppose consider inside this, you have something. If you want to go inside this method, suppose what exactly println is doing. If you want to go inside that, for that, we have to use step into. Step into. Why do we need? Why do we need step into? Step into means it will take you to inside the method. Okay? Inside method. Another one, step return. To come out of the method. Okay, before going to our program, let me explain. See here, just here in println, if you want to go inside what is happening, if source code must be available. See here, println, it went inside println because when you reach the line of that system.out.println, you clicked like step into. Here one by one, line by line, if you want to go, just click on this like that. Okay, got it? Now line by line. For example, if you want to go here in this line number 43, you have multiple methods. If you want to go inside one by one, if you click one time step over means directly it will go to next line. All these methods it will execute and it will come to this one. If you want to go to inside of that, okay, so step into. So see here, step into. Here, if you see here, you stepped into another method. Okay, if you want, don't consider this is not my interested one. In that same line, I have so many methods. I thought of going to find elements by or something other method. But this is not my interested one. At that time, if you want to come out of that one, see here. If you click this one, it will go line by line. It will click. If you click on step it will go in depth of that method. If you click return, step to return, it will come back. Okay. See here, maybe see here, step return. Directly it came out of that and it came here. Now let me show another one. Here let me call my own method. My function. Like that we are calling one. Okay. Here I am only writing one function. Public void my function. Okay, here write the body, inside that write sysouts. Okay, like that. Just consider like this, some lines are there inside this my function. When it comes to this my function, I want to go inside that my function. How to go? Okay, let me stop this current run and then I'm going to it. So here I am removing the debug mode after reaching password. See here, I will run it in debug mode. After reaching password field, what I will do, next line I will go, so it will go to fun, my fun. Okay, see here, next line is my fun. Now it is trying to execute but not yet started. Do you want to execute in one step whatever is there in fun? You want to execute and go out of it, or you want to go inside that fun? Just one step, if you click this, what happens? It will go inside the fun function and automatically it will execute all in one shot and it will come out. Okay, it will go to next line. Okay, if you use step over, if you use step into, then it will go. Okay, see, looks like I clicked on step into, it seems. Let me show once again. Sorry, we are running in run as. We must use debug as. After entering into my fun, what we supposed to do? If you want to go inside, you click into this. If you want to go to next line, you have to use F5. See here, still it is going inside, but something wrong in this one. Okay, let me show this. So here it is going line by line. For example, if you want to come out of that one, just click on this, so it came out. Okay, so step out is working fine, but step into, see my fun, always it is going inside. But when you click on step into, it should go inside. When you use step over, it will go to next line. Okay, got it guys? But here somehow, when we use this method also, it is going, see here, in all these cases, println and all are methods only, right? It is not going inside. If you use this, it is going to next line. Okay, but somehow when I call my fun, it is entering into that without clicking on step into. Generally this one means, see, line by line. If you want to come out of that, you use step out. If you want to go inside, you should use step into. Okay, okay guys. So when you are going using those three options or four options, you can see variable names and that data. Okay, got it? Variables, what is the data inside those variables and all. And if you want to go to next debug point, you should use resume. Wherever debug point is there, it will go to that point. Okay, and it will wait there. If no debug points, it will go to continuous run. Guys, any doubt in this?
Mm. Venkat, can you go to again the code where we are reading the line by line?
Could you please repeat it, Pasna?
Can we go to the code where we are reading from the file, that XML file?
Line by line, that XML reading code?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You want that XML reading code in line by line debug mode, right?
Not debug, just go through it, explain that.
Okay, how to parse that XML?
Yeah.
Okay. First, let me go to Java mode. I am removing this my fun one. And see here, to parse XML data, we have a method called parse method. Okay, that method is available in which class? Document builder class. So I need object of document builder class to call this method. Okay, to call parse method. Okay, see here parse method. If you keep cursor there, it is showing its output is document type object, and it is expecting a file object. Okay, and it is available inside document builder. Now if I want to call this method, if I want to call any method if it which is available in some class A or any class, how to access? First I need to create object for that class. Using object I need to call, right? Now this parse is available in document builder. So we don't have option to create object for document builder because they did not give the option to us. Consider if they write constructor like private, can we access that constructor to create object? No, right? So to create object, main thing is constructor should gets called, because see here, if I write class A1 equal to new A, there should be a class A should be available, and A class constructor, default constructor. Here I am using default constructor, right? Whatever I highlighted in blue color, that should be public. Then only this statement is valid. Then only we can create object. Like that, if they restrict, we cannot create. If they make their private constructor as private, then we cannot create. Like that, they might have done it. They are not giving permission to us to create object. Okay, so then what is the use of that class? If they are not allowing us to create object to their class, but they are providing a class in that they are giving some class methods to use, then how can we use it? In that cases, what they will do is they will only tell use this method, it will give you the class, that class object. Okay, so for document builder class object, they created a method new document builder. Where did they create that method? That method they created inside another class document builder factor. Okay, now if I call this new document builder method, okay, I will get the object of document builder so that I can call parse method. Now to call this new document builder, it is available in another class, right? So first that class object I need to call new document. So that class object, how to get document builder factory class object also we cannot create. There also they made some restrictions. Okay, so what they did is in the same document builder factory class they added a method, static method new instance. If you use that one, they will only create and give you the object of document builder factory object. Using that, I am calling new document builder method which gives document builder object. Okay, once if I get document builder object, I am trying to call parse method by passing file object. This file object must contain the file path which XML file you want to parse. Okay, that's why while creating file object, you must pass the XML path, which XML you want to parse. Okay, this XML path I am preparing. What I am doing is, see here, I created file object. At that time I gave Dot means current directory. It will take current directory path, whatever is there, that project in this system where this project is available, that path it will take. For that path, absolute path I am getting in the form of string. For that I am trying to add. So this current directory will get the path of this project till here, right? After getting this project path inside that src, inside that my xml file, these two I am concatenating to current directory, so that full path of our xml file will get into xml path. That xml path I am passing to file object, file constructor to create file object. That file only I am passing to parse method, so that the output of this DOP will be a DOM tree, DOM structured object, okay, for that XML file, whatever you will pass. Okay, got it? Once, if you get a DOM tree for that, if you get a DOM tree for that, in that you are trying to read based on tags. See here, give me mail ID tags. That means mail ID means full this stanza it will give. Like that, if you have another mail ID also, it will give this is one node, this is like one node. You are telling based on mail ID, give me based on mail ID. So how many tags are matching with that? Two tags. So these are elements. So each one is element. Some elements are nodes. So sorry, each one is node. Some nodes are elements. Here each one is one node. Mail ID is one node. Username is one node. Okay, this text, whatever mail ID is there, that is also a node. Out of these nodes, some are elements which has start tag and end tag. Those are called as elements. Okay. Now you are telling give me elements based on mail ID. So 1 and 2. 2 it will get. Earlier we have only 1. Okay. So let me go through the program. Here based on mail ID, how many elements you will get? 1 or more, depends. That is why it is a list. Nodes, list of nodes. Okay, node list is a one data type. Okay, to store multiple nodes, it is we use node list. Okay, got it? After getting node list, how many are there inside that you are checking? Taking one node and then going one by one. Is that node is element? If it is element, that means you can go again inside also. Okay. So
What is
I
the
am taking
condition on inside if I didn't understand?
this one.
The condition.
Okay. In this example, this may not be helpful. For example, in our scenario, it is not show that difference. Let me show an example. Another one. See here, you have one book or company. Inside that, employees are there. Like that, a number of employees are there. Employee name, tag is there. Inside name, again, you can have inside that again you have first name, okay, and last name. See, structure is like this. You rate based on EMP, consider. Immediately you may not have the values like name and all. Again, if you want to go inside, is it a node? Is it in, see here, you got employees. Okay, after reading employee, this will come one time into node. So here this node contains EMP, right? This node contains EMP because like this you have multiple employees. First one you got it. Here your intention is you want to traverse in depth to bottom of this tree. That means to here. Okay. So you are reading one by one. Get the nodes. If it is a node, get the children. Okay. So this is one node. Is this node is element? To go inside or to stop it, how can I do that? See here, after reading this node, is this a element or not? I will check. Is this a element or not? Yes. What is element? If it is a having, that node is having start and close tag, then it is a element. So do I need to further traverse or not? Does this node is having children or not? If I want to know, I should check whether is it a node, sorry, this node is a element or not. If it is having something, right, inside something is there. Okay, after that what I can do, get the children. So I will get name. After getting the name, here directly I am using the, here directly I am using these name, username, password. Instead of that one, sometimes people don't know what kind of structure is there inside that. If they just want to traverse like that, what they can do? Still, is it a node element? Yes, all are nodes. Is this node is element or not? If it is a element, again go inside and get its children. Okay, like that, to use get children methods inside, instead of directly, here we are using directly elements by tag name and it will give some, and from there we are directly taking the text of that. If you consider you don't know the tag names and all, you will check this condition. Is this node is a element? Yes. If it is element, again you try to get its children. And you, if you want to traverse like that till depth of that tree, that means till leaf nodes, without knowing the tag names. If you want to traverse till end of the tree, that means till leaf nodes, at that time this will be useful. Does it have children or not? We can get it. If it is a node means have, sorry, if it is element means okay. Inside that again I can do get operation of children, get children. Got it?
Yeah.
But in our case, directly we are using username and password. If you don't have this also, no problem. Directly it will work. Let me try. Okay. So first node itself we take, and then see here. Let me put a debug point here. Sometimes there are some scenarios we don't know what kind of data we will get, and one thing is we know okay this kind of data will be there, but where it will, sorry I executed in run mode, let me run in debug. We know like okay these kind of tags will be there, at what level it will be there, 5th level or 10th level or nth level. At that time we know only one thing, like it will be on last level. How many levels are there? We don't know. Okay, at that time, if you want to traverse till end of that tree, that means till leaf nodes, you will be using this condition. Is it element? Yes. Then go down, go down, go down like that. Write another for loop and take children and then go. Okay. See here. mail ID, password, we got it. That condition is not useful for us here. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys. What I suggest is try to
Venkat,
practice
just
try.
before you close, what is that next statement? When you're declaring element, how are you assigning the element?
Which one?
This the first statement after this element e element is equal to e element node. Can you
This
explain
one?
that? That one, that only, that
Yeah.
line.
Okay. What is the use of this one? Okay. Get elements by tag name. This method is available in element class. Okay, that's why that node I am trying to convert it into element. Okay.
So this is to convert node into a element.
Element to call this method get elements by tag name. Okay.
Okay. And the email ID and password variables, they are of what type?
They are of
Email ID and password variables. Can you show where you declare them?
XML.
No, the email ID password variables.
Okay, variables. Okay, one second. Email ID, password, I declared two instance variables with empty values.
Okay, so that's string. That is a string only.
Yeah, string only. Because here, see here, just depends upon this method, what it will return. Okay, see get text returning string. We need string, so automatically the bottom of that tree sometime back I showed, right? So if you draw the tree structure, these will be leaf nodes. Okay, so it will be text. That means a string. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. What I suggest is please do not stop here. Try to continue daily 1 or 2 hours. Try to practice. Okay. Maybe after 1 month you will become more comfortable in writing the programs. Okay. These are the things mainly we use in our project automation and all. Okay. Page object model and anyhow from past 2 years, 2.5 years, I am working on this. Always we use same clicks finding X path. Okay. One thing is you should able to write the X path uniquely so that always it should work. That is one thing. Okay. Then while designing pages, we'll follow page object and then this XMLs. Okay. Got it, guys? So daily practice it. If you stop it now, then after some time again it looks like new one because Java is new for you people, and then all methods whatever we are using Selenium related and all are based on Java only. Okay, so go through Java also once again, just basics of that inheritance, exception handling, and just variables, method calling, object creation. Those are enough. Okay. Tomorrow, if new thing comes, you will consider ATU reporter like that. Tomorrow, some XYZ reporter they want to give. Okay, very good formatting and all. At that time, if you want to use, what they will do, they will give you a jar. You download that file and then add it to your jar, and they will add it to your build path so that all the classes which are part of that jar will be available to you. They will say use this method for this, and you add those two methods, then it will work for you. Okay. For that, first thing is we should know. Okay, if they mention okay, call this, add this method of some class X means okay, how to add that method some class method X of some class. Okay, so we should know. Okay, there will be a jar. If I add the jar, automatically I will get the class. I should import it. Once if I import, I will get that class. I have to create object of it and then use the methods whatever they are suggesting. Okay. Okay, guys. All the best. Okay, practice well. If any doubts, let us know. Okay, through that group mail ID. Upasana, that CSV1 I will check once and send you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Venkat.
I will send this one. Please go through all these programs.
മറ്റേ തീർന്നു.